they were in a rush. They couldn't order. They should have ordered the doors, and they thought, no, we're not going to special order the doors to fit into this opening. We'll just rip some down. What they should have done is ripped only a half of it over here and half of it over here before they mortised in the hinges. Do you see what I'm saying? Then both styles would have been the same. See, right now, you can tell these center styles are shifted over to the left. These center styles here are shifted over to the right. See that? You know? So I know that they've already modified this. They had to take the, they probably ordered it as an opening, and then whoever framed this didn't do the right framing opening, or they had to make it smaller to fit in here, and then they forgot about the doors. The doors came, and they ended up having to take the top door jamb off, and these side styles were already mortised into the hinges. They didn't want to mess around with that, so they took the doors down, and then they just ripped off the inside, and then they had to remodify where the no they didn't remodify where the doorknobs are. See how close they are to the edge? They just left the holes exactly where they were, and they called it good. So I know that they've already kind of altered this door frame a little bit. Now I have to make it work the best I can in the way it is. Okay, so I know. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this one here, and I'm going to take this hinge, and I'm going to try to suck it over. And I may have to do that with both of these two hinges right here. This is a four hinge door, because these are 8-foot tall doors. And see, when I first looked at this door earlier, I thought the whole edge of the door was rubbing, and it's not. It's just the top, because I was fully prepared on doing whatever I had to do. If you had doors like this and they were rubbing in there, and you needed to slide them over further, you'd have to look at this and see if you've got enough room. And I was fully prepared to take all these hinges and screw them tight over here, and the same thing over here if I had to. Okay, but I'm not going to have to. And I'll show you on this side, on this side, how they're rubbing. They're just barely. See right there? They're rubbing, see? They're together. And so if that door is about like that, and you try to close it, one door rubs on the other one, and pretty soon there's going to be a nice big old mark on the edge of the door. Now look over here. When these doors close, you see there? They just barely, they're just barely missing down here at the bottom. And so I don't think I have to do anything but only move this one over to the right. Okay, that's how I figured that out. Okay, so my next step, what's my next step? If you've been watching some of my videos, you know exactly what I'm going to do. I've got to take this hinge out of here. Then I have to, oh man, okay, I guess I'm okay. This door's open far enough. I don't think I have to take the whole door down. I'm going to take that, and I'm going to drill some holes in there. Just keep watching this video, and you'll know how it's done. Are you ready for this? Let's do it. Now before I get up there, you might have been noticing that I've got two drills here. What's the deal with that, Joe? Well, this is a ratcheted high impact drill where when you get ready to tighten it up, it goes da-da-da-da-da-da-da. And I might end up using that one if I can't get the screws tight enough with just a regular drill, okay? And I've got my chargers. I haven't used these drills for a while, and so I don't know if my battery's gonna die or anything like that. And I'm gonna end up using my standby drywall screws. I'm gonna maybe use 3-inch or 2.5, we'll see. And these are coarse thread. You go to the store, you always want to look and see, coarse thread, sharp point. They also have these in fine thread. Did you know that? And if you're not paying attention, you might come back from the hardware store and you say, I don't know what the deal is. This time they're thin fine threads, and last time I got them, they were coarse threads. I don't know what the deal is, but that's because you got to read the labels. And don't make the assumption that all of these are fine threads or all of them are coarse thread. Okay? So that's what I'm going to end up using up here. And let's just keep the camera rolling, shall we? I'm going to start up here on this top hinge. And I'll get up there and remove it. Obviously, I won't have to remove the whole door, and I'm hoping that I can reach in there and do all of my work by leaving this door up in place. Okay, now I've got to gently, oh man, I got to get my drill bits out too. I thought I was all ready for this. I've just taken a small little screwdriver to try to pop that out. And now, see, I'm going to have to drill a hole up there and right down there with the drill bit for my screws. Okay? Can you see what I'm going to do? I'm going to put 2 screws in there, real long ones, and that way I'll be able to drive that door jamb over tighter. Okay? See those black felt tip marks there? I'm going to put, that's where I'm going to drill those holes. Okay? And then I should be able to suck it. Then I can flop the hinge back and put the 3 little hinge screws back in. You might think, well, why don't you just take a couple of the thin screws out and just put some long screws right in through the hinge? Well, for 2 reasons that is not going to work. And reason number 1 is this bottom screw and the top screw. If I were to put long screws in there straight, it's going to go right into the side edge of the sheetrock on the wall. It's not going to hit the stud behind here. The sheetrock is from this edge over a ½ an inch, and I would have to pre-drill those holes in at an angle like that, and then put long screws in there. I could put a long screw right there, right? But you've got the whole hinge is going to be pushing tight on there, and that's only going to firmly push the hinge a little bit tighter on the door jamb, and we don't want that because I've got to suck it over further. So that's why I've got to put a long screw there, and I'll drill that in with my drill bits first, okay? Right into the 2x4. Then I'll take those long sheetrock screws, coarse thread because I'm going into wood, and I'm going to drive that in there, and that's going to kind of push this over. I used to not do that. I used to take a 8-penny galvanized 8 nail down here, and I put one up there, and then I would just hammer that and hope that my hammer didn't hit the edge of the door stop or anything, and then I would take a nail set and kind of set those in a little bit and then put some white caulking over those. But then after a while you see that, and I don't want to do it that way. And plus, if I can drive the screws in there, that's going to actually suck it in more than a galvanized nail. Especially, if you got a 30-year-old house or something, what if the nails bend? Then you got to take the nails out, and you got it all messed up. So I always like to use a drill bit in my long screws. Okay, so that's the next step. I've got to go get my drill bits, and we'll get going.